Yahweh joyously presents the Book of Judges. Judges, chapter 1. After the death of Yeshua ben Nun, the children of Israel had asked Yahweh,
"Who will be first to go up and fight for us against the Canaanites?"
Yahweh had answered,
Yada is to go. I have given the land into their hands.
Then Yada said to Simeon his brother,
"Come up with me to my allotted territory, so we may fight against the Canaanites, and then I will likewise go with you to your allotted territory."
So the Simeonites went with them. Then Yada went up, and Yahweh delivered the Canaanites and the Perizzites into their hand. And they killed 10,000 men at Bethsek. It was there they found Adonai Bethsek and fought against him, soundly defeating the Canaanites and the Perizzites. Then Adonai Bethsek fled, but they pursued him and caught him and cut off his thumbs and big toes. Then Adonai Bethsek said,
70 kings with their thumbs and big toes cut off have picked up crumbs from under my table. Just as I have done, so I have also been repaid by Yahweh.
They brought him to Jerusalem, and he died there. The men of Yada attacked Jerusalem also, and took it. They put the city to the sword, and set it on fire. Afterward, Yada went down to fight against the Canaanites, who lived in the hill country, the Negev, and the western foothills. Then Yada went against the Canaanites, who lived in Hebron. Now the name of Hebron formerly was Kiriath Arba. They defeated Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmud. From there, they went against the inhabitants of Debir. The name of Debir formerly was Kiriath Sefer. Then Caleb ben Yephuneh said,
"Whoever attacks Kiriath Sefer and captures it, to him I will give my daughter Aksa in marriage."
Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, took it. So he gave him his daughter Aksa in marriage. One day, when she came to Othniel, he urged her to ask her father for a field. When she got off her donkey, Caleb asked her,
"What can I do for you?"
She replied,
"Give me a special blessing, since you have given me land in the Negev. Give me also springs of water."
So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. Now the children of the Kenite, Moshe's father-in-law, went up from the city of palms, Jericho, with the children of Yada, into the wilderness of Yada, in the Negev near Arad, and they went and lived among the Amalekites. Then the men of Yada went with their brothers, the Simeonites, and attacked the Canaanites living in Sapha, and they utterly destroyed the city. The city came to be known as Hormah, meaning destruction. The men of Yada also captured Gaza with its territory, Ashkelon with its territory, Ekron with its territory, and Ashdod with its territory. Yahweh was truly with Yada. They took possession of the hill country, but they were unable to drive the people from the plains, because they had iron chariots. Just as Moshe had promised, Hebron was given to Caleb, who took possession of the 3 cities and drove out from it the 3 sons of Anak. But the Benjaminites did not drive out the Jebusites living in Jerusalem. To this day, the Jebusites live there with the Benjaminites. Likewise, the house of Yosef had moved against Bethel, and Yahweh was with them. When they sent men to spy out Bethel, formerly called Luz, when the spies saw a man coming out of the city, they said to him,
"Show us the entrance to the city, and we will show you mercy."
So he showed them the entrance to the city, and they put the city to the sword, but spared the man and his whole family. Then the man went to the land of the Hittites, built a city, and called its name Luz, which is its name to this day. Manasseh did not drive out the people of Beth-Shan, Tanakh, Dor, Ibleam, or Megiddo, along with their surrounding villages, because the Canaanites were determined to live in that land. When Israel became strong, they subjected them to forced labor, but they did not completely drive them out. As for Ephraim, they did not drive out the Canaanites who were living in Gaza, but the Canaanites continued to live there among them. Neither did Zebulun drive out the Canaanites living in Kitron or Nahalal. Rather, the Canaanites lived in their midst and were subjected to forced labor. Nor did Asher drive out those living in Akko, Sidon, Olav, Akzib, Halva, Aphek, or Rehob. Because of this, the people of Asher lived among the Canaanite inhabitants of the land. They did not drive them out, nor did Naphtali drive out the inhabitants of Beth Shemesh or Beth Anath, but they lived among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land. Those living in Beth Shemesh and Beth Anath, however, became forced laborers for them. The Amorites forced the children of Dan into the hill country, not allowing them to come down into the plain. And the Amorites were also determined to live in Mount Horez, Ayalon, and Shaalbim. But when the power of the house of Yosef became stronger, they were pressed into forced labor. Now, the boundary of the Amorites was from the ascent of Akrabim to Selah and beyond.